I'm Corbett Wall with DV Auction. Here with the 3-minute cattle market update for Friday, April the 7th. We've talked about fires a lot this spring and the devastating fires they had in the southern plains, but I was traveling through the Flint Hills and got the opportunity to take some pictures of some good fires out there in the tall grass prairie as they burn those off right before they turn cattle out there every spring, and it with just a few weeks it'll be green and pretty as a park all through there, and really makes that grass more powerful and is a good way to keep the brush down and keep those pastures valuable in that country all up through the eastern side of Kansas there. But look at the board, live cattle futures, June contract, Wednesday was up just 12 cents, Thursday up 70 cents, 10 the day on Thursday at 110.12. Your April contract on Thursday was up 52 cents at 118.80. Feeder cattle May contract Wednesday was up 12 cents, Thursday up $1.75. To end the day on Thursday at 132.17, and your cash market showed it too. Pretty good drive for a down market on your feeder cattle board. Your fat cattle trade is really going to be tough this week. We saw how tough it was going to be Wednesday morning on that Fed Cattle Exchange, the online timed auction. Didn't get a hoof sold at all. The pins were offered up. Now some of the ones in the northern plains, they were offered too high. They offered a lot of them at 129. Well, they weren't going to get a bid on that. We knew the market wasn't going to be that good. There wasn't a lot of point in putting those cattle on. But there was some cattle, and in the Texas Panhandle there, offered as low as 124 and still didn't get a bid on those. So we knew how hard that the Packers are going to play, and they can really be ruthless on a down market. It seems like guys kind of get to feeling sorry for them after an up market, but they forget how ruthless they can be. They don't want just $2 or $3, they want it all. And we've seen a few sales this week. Like I said, nothing sold on the Fed Cattle Exchange, but just short of 12,000 have sold here and there, some of them for a slightly longer delivery period, and we haven't established anything, but we have seen a few sales at 125 live. That's mostly in Colorado. That'd be mostly $3 lower there. Iowa is and they're tight up there. I don't understand why they would sell cattle that cheap. They may be awful heavy, but they've sold a few trickle sales here live from 120 to 124. Nebraska has sold some cattle on a direct basis, of course, but dressed at $200. So it's sure going to be lower. We haven't established the market. It's probably not going to be too far from 125 unless the board really jumps one way or the other on Friday there. But your slaughter has actually been pretty respectful, as that they were scaring everybody thinking this cooler cleaning was going to shut everything down. And so far through Thursday, 448,000 cattle. That's down just 8,000 from last week and up 12,000 from the same week a year ago. Your actual dressed weights of steers come in on Thursday, 868 pounds. That's down 4 pounds from the previous report. So we know that we're current. We're pulling some green cattle, and these weights are showing it, and your grading is showing it too, because there's not as many choice cattle around. Box beef cutout values have just been continuing to drift lower, although not quite as sharply as we have seen part of last week and earlier this week. But we've got choice carcasses just under 208, and selects are just barely clinging to $200 and could end up under $200 by the end of the week here. But your feeder cattle markets, cash feeders, OKC West ended up with about 7,500 yearling feeders on Wednesday and about 2,300 calves on Tuesday. The feeder steers there that sold on Wednesday were steady to $2 lower. Feeder heifers $2 to $4 lower. So that's kind of what we've seen all around this week. Your real-time index though on Thursday did come up a little. It had drifted quite a bit earlier in the week, but come up 62 cents on Thursday sales late Thursday at 130.61. So that's not too bad at all. A market that many of you probably never heard of, don't get a whole lot of advertisement. They're not covered by Federal State Market News. They're not covered by Cattle Market Central. But here at the 3-Minute Cattle Market Update, I like to get as much information to you as I can. That's why you guys should watch all the time. But at 3 state stockyards in Falls City, Nebraska, extreme southeast Nebraska there. Talk about a big string. And I like the big strings. That's what I stick to the most when I'm talking about individual quotes, because that establishes a market in one sale there. But 815 head of steers in one whack weighed 859 pounds. They were predominantly black and said they had a fair weigh up and condition to them. 859 pounds at 131.10. And that's some big numbers, but I guarantee you the big numbers don't scare the Whit boys there at Falls City. And that's 3 minutes. We'll talk to you next week.